There was this one time when I was in class and I was really struggling to stay awake. And so I prayed, God, please help me stay awake. Literally, like 30 seconds later, I got the worst case of hiccups I've ever had in my entire life, and the first case of hiccups I've ever had in public. And they lasted for most of the rest of the class. I'm sure you've all had funny stories of asking God for things and being like, be careful what you ask for, because God is real. He does listen. He does answer prayer. Sometimes you may wonder, well, why does he answer some prayers and not others? And is there any particular prayer that you can pray that God will always answer? From personal experience and from reading the Word, I have concluded that yes, there is a prayer, at least one prayer, that God will answer every single time. And this is one of those prayers that you have to be careful in praying it, because it will be answered and it will be hard to deal with his answer. Now, to reveal what that prayer is, it is the prayer to ask God to break you. You may be wondering, break me? Why would I want God to break me? I'm weak enough as it is. I already don't have anything together. Why would I want him to break me even further? In my life, I've discovered that the thing that is keeping me from a passionate relationship with God, that is keeping me from progressing in sanctification, is myself. Not my circumstances, not my situation in life, but my attitude, my sin, my disordered desires, or even the good things in my life that are in the wrong priority place. These are things that become idols. These are things that cause anxiety and problems. These are things that isolate and alienate me from God. These are things that I use as excuses to not obey. And our sin and our confusion about how to obey, our weaknesses, they are an integral part of who we are. It's a scary thing that your sin has so shaped your thinking and your actions that if you got rid of it, you would be a radically different person, and you might not even recognize parts of yourself because those parts have been taken over by sin in your life. And we must renounce that sin. We must renounce those ways of living and ways of thinking that are destroying us and dishonoring to God. But that sin isn't magically going to go away. You aren't going to pray a prayer of, God, make me a perfect person, and wake up the next day painlessly perfect. No, because it is ingrained in you. It takes ripping and tearing and heartache and blood and anguish to get that sin out, to root it up. Trust me, that metaphor is not a metaphor. It is a reality for what it takes to get sin out of your life, to get bad habits, bad thought patterns out of your life. You can't do that on your own because it's too painful. For the same reason that you go to your parents and have them pull your loose teeth for you because you're too scared to do it yourself, we go to God and have him tear that sin out of us, because we would back out if we had to do it alone. And so when you pray the prayer, God, break me, what you are saying is, make me holy. What's going to happen when you pray that is he will make you holy, and he will start by breaking you. And you are bearing everything before God and saying, have at it. All of my greatest desires, all of my greatest joys, all of my private sins, all of the compartments of my heart that I'm keeping back, no, it's all yours. You can do with my life and my love as you like. And that means that nothing is hidden from God. Nothing is off limits from God. He can touch all of your relationships. He can touch your health. He can touch your stress levels. He can touch your situation in life. All of it. He doesn't do this because he hates you. He breaks you because he loves you. And when you have become so weak that you literally cannot go on, he infuses you with himself, and his spirit of comfort and strength comes, and you are radically transformed. But you have to be broken. You have to go low. You have to be humble and contrite. You have to lay it all before God and say, go for it. My hands are off my life. There are so many passages I can point to in Scripture to illustrate the importance of going low, of being humble, of being broken. But the one that first started me to pray this prayer are the Beatitudes in Matthew 5. Who does he bless? The poor in spirit, those who mourn, the meek, those who hunger and thirst, those who are persecuted. Those are the people who are blessed. Why are they blessed? Why is it good to mourn and be hungry and thirsty for God? Because that's creating a space. Remember we talked about it's creating a space and an emptiness for God to come in and fill you with everything that he is. If you want to change, this is the prayer that will get you to where you want. But when you pray this prayer, when you say, okay, God, break me, he's going to answer it. I guarantee you. And if you go into it not believing that he's going to answer it, you will be miserable because you'll be trying to no, take back all the things I don't want you to break. Or no, you can't touch my relationship with my boyfriend. You can't touch my chances of going to college. You can't touch my happiness or how much sleep I'm getting. You can't do that if you want to be changed. When you experience suffering, you have to embrace that suffering and say, yes, Lord. Yes. Go low, be humble, be broken. My roommate wrote this poem that is absolutely perfect. Break me down and tear me into pieces. Build me up again as I should be. Melt this twisted life and form a mirror. Reflect your power for the dark to see. Break me down and gather all my pieces. Teach me that the world is not enough. There's no rest while my hands are grasping. There's no bounty to replace your love. So break me down and sing to all my pieces. Tell the night that it shall not prevail. Tell my broken self that there is naught to fear. You are here, all shall be well. Pray this for you. Pray this for other people. This is the prayer that will transform your life. See you next time, girls.